we're dealing with doesn't interface with reality.
This movie feels like a panic attack about AI, yet somehow hilarious. When a film embraces true insanity and the dark future AI could lead to, there's a few ways to handle that premise. This is the right way. The man who brought us 3 of the Pirates movies and 2 good ones, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, is not only a unique take on the sci-fi apocalyptic genre, but also hauntingly relatable and hilarious. It may drag a bit toward the end and try to cram in a few too many ideas, but when the journey is this entertaining and this thought-provoking, who cares? Just have fun. Even if the base premise isn't completely original, I guarantee the way it plays out is. Sam Rockwell, who demands any scene he's in, plays a man from the future warning about the consequences of AI. Such consequences bear no explaining. It's half the population gone, other half buried in their screens. You get the idea. So he recruits a team of very unique individuals to, hopefully stop it, who along the way are given unique backstories with a heavy emphasis on AI. One of which gets into school shootings, which is very dark, as in dark comedy. In a way the movies highlight. That feels wrong. Everybody has a relatively good reason to not like AI, or at least be heavily affected by it. And the genius of this movie is not just how comedic it is, but also how it all has an effect. Obviously, you get random, crazy shit, things will just happen because they happen. You're supposed to embrace that, but stuff like character traits and what they do in the past sections are usually there for a reason. Lots of things get brought up, playing a big role in the movie's overall premise. It's the real concept of thinking the plot through.
Oh, that's old shit!
When you consider the originality of how it's laid out and the relatability, which is not fun to think of, it's kind of amazing how well it all comes together. Sam Rockwell is a scene-demanding presence, doesn't say too many things that aren't drop-dead bangers, and given the movie genre, that's a perfect fit. He's amazing in this, that's undisputed, but nobody else really isn't either. Every character is unique and memorable, even the ones who are just there, without backstories. Can't forget the one who just wanted pie. I'm not gonna spoil any of their traits except for that one, they're beautifully woven into the narrative. And like I said, by the end it all comes together, kinda like how The Mandalorian isn't.
Well, we're fucked.
Goes without saying, the movie gave us way more than expected. Upon seeing the trailer, I thought it'd just be chaos and comedy. Hopefully done right. I should probably talk about that because it's still a main focus. The movie is hilarious and bizarre in a good way. It embraces the insanity. It's a very easy thing to mess up, in a lot of cases you can overdo it, but the way it plays into the AI theme, nothing feels like it goes too far. I mean, the relatively crowded theater was laughing like crazy about school shooting satire. It's not the easiest thing to justify. Honestly, I thought the joke was quote-unquote old, but the way they take it is both hilarious and relatable, not commonly said in that sentence. A lot of the comedy is due to Sam Rockwell, it's transcending, but that's not the only reason. Unlike most of Hollywood, they knew what they were doing. Everybody's giving it their all, the satire is spot on, and at no moment do you really know what's gonna happen. Speaking of the ending, again, not gonna give that away, but I can pretty much guarantee you won't expect it. At least, not a lot of it. Like anything else, the way it comes together is really creative. It's full of unexpected twists. I knew I'd have a fun time with it, but I didn't expect it to be this clever. They really went all out. Then you have the finer details, things they could have easily just ignored. In one scene you have this guy who doesn't have a phone, who doesn't believe in them. Then at one point in the movie you see him using a real alarm clock opposed to his phone. They didn't have to do that. You don't need to look very far to see this was not a rushed project. A lot of time and effort was put in.
There is no need for this.
And the one thing that did somewhat worry me was the runtime. I don't know if that's perfect. I wasn't bored or anything, but it is over long. It probably didn't need to exceed 2 hours. I think in the end, too much happens. Maybe a few things could have been cut. A couple questions left unanswered. It's just insanity. I guess that's it. but as a result, you do get uneven pacing. And I think that's the biggest issue here. The thing is, when you consider the thought-provoking masterpiece that this is, because it is a masterpiece, I can look past that. You just don't get too many things like this. There are lots of movies that do things debatably better. I'm not saying it's gonna be legendary, but the reason it stands out among other notable films is because of how much it had to balance. That's where the masterclass comes in. That's why when it comes to stuff like this, it so easily goes wrong. If a few things don't come together, it simply doesn't work. But in the case of this crazy movie, it sticks. Almost everything they threw at the wall sticks. That's commendable. It's hilarious, it's nuanced, in a few ways terrifying. And before the end, I do want to mention the gaming channel is linked down below. It's got content on games. If you're into that, check it out. Some say this leans too heavily on familiar tropes. Those who need to find things wrong with it. I'd say it redefines those familiar tropes and a whole lot else. I went in expecting to like it. I didn't expect all this.
Party on, dudes!
Make sure you see it first chance you get in the theater. And once you do, let me know what you thought about. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Down in the comments. Like the video, subscribe down below, share it if you can, and hit the bell to get notified, because if you don't, you're not gonna have any fun. There'll be no recommendations. I'm the cinema analyst because somebody has to be.